1/5 of employees admit to using unapproved AI tools. The FCC is going to bring back net neutrality. Apple hints at an AI model for Siri. Meta is losing key AI talent. And is Stability AI just the first of the AI companies to face the cold, hard economic realities? All this and more on the After the Gold Rush edition of #Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. A new survey is shedding light on an emerging cybersecurity challenge for businesses. Employees increasingly using unauthorized AI tools like ChatGPT in the workplace against company policies. A survey of 1,500 North American workers, including 500 IT professionals, was conducted by the cybersecurity firm 1Password. And it revealed a growing trend of employees turning to generative AI apps to boost productivity, but often in violation of their employer's rules. A startling 22% of employees admitted to knowingly breaking company policies by using unapproved AI tools like ChatGPT for work tasks. Another 34% confessed to using unauthorized apps and software beyond just AI in an attempt to be more productive. This sets up a new front in the battle between workplace IT departments trying to lock down networks and security and employees looking to leverage the latest technology to get work done faster. Employees stated that convenience is a top priority when choosing tools, while cybersecurity staff are focused on risk mitigation, especially around generative AI capabilities that could leak sensitive data or be exploited by bad actors. Roughly 4 in 5 security professionals say they don't feel current protections are adequate against AI-related threats like data exposure, poisoned training models, and enhanced phishing attempts. The rise of remote work has made enforcing traditional security policies much more difficult as employees turn to personal devices and often unauthorized software. And as generative AI goes mainstream, this survey indicates many organizations will be forced to get ahead of this issue, either embracing AI under controlled circumstances or facing negligent insiders putting corporate data at risk. It's the latest clash between productivity and security in the workplace, likely to intensify as AI capabilities advance. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, is set to reinstate net neutrality regulations, reversing the repeal under former President Donald Trump's administration. Net neutrality refers to the principle that the Internet service providers must treat all online content and data equally, without favoring, blocking, or slowing down particular websites or services. Net neutrality aims to prevent Internet providers from creating fast and slow lanes online by requiring equal treatment for all data transmission. Supporters argue it preserves an open Internet and prevents anti-competitive practices, while critics claim it amounts to a heavy-handed regulation that undermines innovation and investment. Reinstating net neutrality has been a priority for President Biden, who encouraged the FCC to put the Obama-era protections back in place through an executive order in 2021. FCC Chair Jessica Rosenworcel confirmed the Commission will vote on the final rule to restore these open Internet protections at its April 25th meeting. The move would reestablish the FCC's regulatory authority over broadband Internet access, which was rescinded in 2017 under the Trump FCC, which had argued that the rules were unnecessary and stifled investment. However, Rosenworcel stated that the pandemic made it clear that broadband is an essential service, that every one of us needs to have a fair shot at success in the digital age. But the upcoming FCC vote is setting up a partisan showdown, with Republicans on the Commission vowing to oppose what they view as overreaching government control of the Internet. Let's face it, in a world of generative AI, Apple's Siri is just not that impressive. But in a break from their usual closed-lipped secrecy, Apple researchers say they've developed an AI model which could allow a future version of Siri to substantially outperform language models like ChatGPT. In a newly published paper, Apple's AI team describes a system called ReLM, or Reference Resolution as Language Modeling. It aims to give a voice AI assistant vastly improved understanding of contextual information. ReLM would then allow Siri to simultaneously take into account what's actively displayed on a user's screen, entities relevant to the current conversation, and even background processes like alarms or music playback. By factoring in this multitude of data points, Apple claims Realm could provide a significant intelligence boost to a virtual assistant's responsiveness and usefulness. What's more, the researchers state that their smallest Realm model already achieves performance comparable to ChatGPT 4.0 on certain benchmarks related to resolving visual and conversational references. And Apple's larger Realm models are described as substantially outperforming ChatGPT 4.0, despite using far fewer parameters or dimensions of trained data. The paper concludes that Realm is an ideal choice for practical reference resolution systems that can exist on-device without compromising performance. This points to Apple's apparent strategy of developing powerful AI capabilities that can run locally on user devices rather than relying on cloud processing like most virtual assistants today. And if successfully implemented, an on-device AI assistant like Realm could overcome bottlenecks of internet connectivity while protecting user privacy. As AI remains a key battleground for big tech companies, Apple has been trying to bring major advancements to Siri to make it a much more intelligent and context-aware AI assistant. And industry watchers hope for a reveal of this with iOS 18 at the Worldwide Developer Conference 2024 on June 10th. In a potential setback for Facebook parent company Meta's ambitions in artificial intelligence, the tech giant has seen a recent exodus of top talent from its AI research teams. According to reports, at least 3 high-level AI leaders announced their departure from Meta in March alone. They include Devi Parekh, the former senior director of generative AI, Abhishek Das, who led Meta's fundamental AI research team, and Eric Major, a director of engineering. While the exits seem amicable, with the researchers wishing Meta well, one former employee was quite blunt about the reasons he was leaving. Eric Major stated that for those looking to build new AI systems and products, there's no advantage to being inside a large tech company like Meta. Major cited the incredible competitive pressure in the AI field currently as startups raise huge sums of venture capital money to develop generative AI technology. Now, this isn't a surprising development for those who've lived through periods of new technological disruption. It's common to see leading talent break away from established companies to capitalize on emerging opportunities at what they feel are more nimble startup. But the researchers' departures come at a critical time for Meta as it faces intense competition from rivals like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI in advancing and commercializing generative AI. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been aggressively trying to recruit AI staff, even personally emailing employees at Google to convince them to join his company's efforts instead. But these latest talent losses could provide a significant setback as Meta looks to maintain its leadership position in developing advanced AI systems and applications powered by this transformative technology. If you're wondering what happened to artificial intelligence company Stability AI, known for its open-source image generation model Stable Diffusion, well, with the recent departure of its CEO, Ahmed Mustaq, the company has quickly transformed from an industry darling to a company on the edge of failure. And the problem? Stability AI found that it couldn't get its revenue to a level that matched its costs. It reportedly has almost $100 million in annual costs for renting cloud computing power to train its AI systems, with projected 2023 revenues of just $11 million. The infrastructure spending to develop Stable Diffusion, which lets users create realistic images from text prompts, drained Stability's cash reserves to only $4 million by last October. This financial crunch was exacerbated by providing millions of dollars worth of free cloud compute to external researchers experimenting with its models. In a bid to get its finances back on track, Stability AI recently announced a new subscription-based pricing model, charging users for access to its AI image generation capabilities. This replaces Stable Diffusion being an open-source free resource as Stability seeks sustainable revenues. The company was also reportedly exploring selling its rented cloud capacity as a service to investors to raise funds as well. Despite this, Stability AI still faces an uncertain future. In addition to its financial issues, it's defending multiple copyright lawsuits over allegations that images were used illegally to train Stable Diffusion. This has led to internal turmoil with the recent resignation of its CEO and several key researchers behind the AI model development. But it's also a harbinger of things to come. OpenAI may struggle, but it's had Microsoft's deep pockets and it's managed to get a couple of revenue streams. But for the rest, how many more $20 to $30 a month extra charges will consumers and companies be willing to pay for as AI models try to make the leap from free to paid services? And without those sources of revenue, how long will investors pay the high costs of development and training of models? We don't know where we are in the investment cycle or how long the current gold rush will last, but when the founder of Canva says the honeymoon is over, and the CEO of DeepMind refers to the AI hype grifters, you have to wonder if our time to the big correction will be as fast as the rise of AI. Those who've lived through the boom and bust cycles like the internet boom bust of 2003 know just how fast that tide can turn. And that's our show for today. Hashtag Trending goes to air 5 days a week with a daily news program and a weekend interview show with the occasional documentary. Love to hear what you thought about the show on the weekend or anything else about the program. We read and answer every email. And you can reach me at jlove@itwc.ca. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday.